The Adventures of Jonathan Wild. The Curious Case of the Mysterious Disappearing Train. The Vanishing Act. Ravensbrück was a quaint town with a single railway station, the Ravensbrück Junction. For years, the station had been a lifeline, connecting the town to the larger cities beyond the hills. The townspeople relied on the train for goods, travel, and communication. However, in recent weeks, a bizarre phenomenon had gripped Ravensbrück. A train had vanished without a trace. This is a fictional audio story, written and produced by Pierre Anthony and narrated by me, Andrew. The train, known as the Midnight Express, had departed from Ravensbrück Junction at precisely midnight, heading towards Haverford. But somewhere along the journey, it had simply disappeared. No wreckage, no survivors, no explanation. The disappearance had left the townsfolk baffled and frightened. Jonathan Wild, the renowned detective, arrived in Ravensbrück to investigate the mystery. He was met at the station by the station master, Mr. Arthur Blackwell, a stout man with a perpetually worried expression. "Mr. Wild, thank you for coming," Blackwell said, shaking Jonathan's hand. "We've never seen anything like this. The train was there one moment and gone the next. It's as if it vanished into thin air." Jonathan nodded, his keen eyes scanning the surroundings. "I'll need to examine the station and the tracks. Every detail could be crucial. Clues and conundrums." Jonathan began his investigation at the Ravensbrück Junction. The station was small, with a single platform and a modest ticket office. He spoke with the station staff, including the night guard who had been on duty the night the train disappeared. "I was here, watching the train pull out," the guard, an elderly man named Samuel, recounted. "It was a clear night, no fog, no storms. The train just vanished after it passed the old signal post." Jonathan inspected the signal post and the tracks leading out of the station. He found nothing unusual at first glance, but his instincts told him there was more to uncover. He decided to follow the tracks, looking for any signs of disturbance. Several miles down the line, Jonathan discovered something peculiar. The tracks seemed to veer slightly as if they had been tampered with. He knelt, examining the rails closely, and noticed fresh tool marks. "Interesting," he muttered to himself. "Someone has been here." As he continued his investigation, he stumbled upon an old, abandoned tunnel that branched off from the main track. The entrance was partially concealed by overgrown bushes, and a rusty padlock hung from the gate. Jonathan's curiosity was piqued. He broke the padlock and stepped inside the tunnel, his lantern casting a flickering light on the damp walls. The air was musty, and the tunnel echoed with his footsteps. The hidden chamber. Deep within the tunnel, Jonathan discovered a hidden chamber. The chamber was filled with crates, old machinery, and what appeared to be makeshift sleeping quarters. It looked like someone had been using the tunnel as a hideout. Among the clutter, Jonathan found a map of the railway network and a ledger filled with detailed notes about train schedules and cargo manifests. It became clear that this was more than just a random act of sabotage. It was a well-planned operation. As he examined the ledger, a noise from the entrance of the tunnel caught his attention. He quickly extinguished his lantern and hid behind a stack of crates. Moments later, two figures entered the chamber, carrying lanterns of their own. "I told you we shouldn't have tampered with the tracks so close to the station," one of the men grumbled. "Someone's bound to notice." "Relax," the other replied. "By the time they figure it out, we'll be long gone with the loot." Jonathan listened carefully, piecing together their conversation. It seemed the men were part of a gang that had been using the tunnel to intercept and rob the Midnight Express. But how had they made the train disappear? Unraveling the mystery. After the men left, Jonathan resumed his investigation. He found a series of old, disused tracks that led deeper into the tunnel. Following them, he discovered a hidden railway switch that diverted the train into the tunnel without passing the signal post. "So that's how they did it," Jonathan mused. "They diverted the train into the tunnel, unloaded the cargo, and then hid the evidence." With this crucial piece of information, Jonathan returned to Ravensbrück Junction and met with Mr. Blackwell and the local constable, Thomas Hardy. "Gentlemen, I believe I have solved the mystery of the disappearing train," Jonathan announced. The train was diverted into an abandoned tunnel by a group of thieves. They've been using the tunnel as a hideout and a place to offload the stolen goods. Constable Hardy nodded, impressed. We need to catch them in the act. Do you have a plan, Mr. Wilde? Jonathan smiled. I do. We'll set a trap. We'll announce a special cargo on the Midnight Express and ensure the thieves take the bait. The trap is set. The townspeople were informed that a valuable shipment of gold was being transported on the Midnight Express. In reality, the train carried nothing but decoy crates. Jonathan and a team of constables hid aboard the train, ready to spring the trap. As the train departed Ravensbrook Junction, Jonathan watched the tracks carefully. When they reached the point where the diversion switch was located, the train veered off the main track and entered the tunnel. The train came to a stop in the hidden chamber, and the thieves emerged from the shadows, ready to unload the cargo. But as they approached the crates, Jonathan and the constables sprang into action, surrounding them. You're under arrest, Constable Hardy declared, his pistol drawn. The thieves, caught off guard, surrendered without a fight. Among them was the leader, the same man Jonathan had overheard in the tunnel. You think this is over? The leader sneered as he was led away in handcuffs. There are more of us out there. Jonathan wasn't deterred. We'll find them, he replied confidently, one by one. A town's gratitude. With the gang apprehended and the stolen goods recovered, Ravensbrook could finally breathe a sigh of relief. The townspeople gathered at the station to celebrate, grateful for Jonathan's efforts. Mr. Wilde, we owe you a great debt, Mr. Blackwell said, shaking Jonathan's hand. Thanks to you, our trains are safe again. Jonathan smiled modestly. It was a team effort, Mr. Blackwell. I'm just glad we could bring the thieves to justice. As he prepared to leave Ravensbrook, Jonathan reflected on the curious case of the mysterious disappearing train. It had been a challenging puzzle, but one that reaffirmed his belief in the power of observation, deduction, and perseverance. After the train left the station, the train driver and conductor realized the train was being diverted and slammed on the brakes. The train took time to stop, and it came to a screeching halt inside the tunnel. The thieves experimented with gas, and it knocked everyone out on the train, while they took the valuables. Once they were done, they simply got the train going again, and with great timing and precision, everyone on the train woke up, not remembering anything, but simply continued their journey to the next stop. Before he left, the townspeople presented Jonathan with a token of their appreciation, a small model of the Midnight Express, meticulously crafted by the local blacksmith. Thank you, Mr. Wilde, Mrs. Haversham said, her eyes filled with gratitude. You've shown us that even the greatest mysteries can be solved with determination and courage. Jonathan tipped his hat, his heart warmed by the town's kindness. It's been an honor, Mrs. Haversham. Every case is a journey, and I'm grateful to have shared this one with all of you. As he rode out of Ravensbrook, the sun setting behind him, Jonathan Wilde looked forward to his next adventure. The world was full of mysteries, and he was ready to uncover them all, one case at a time. And so, the adventures of Jonathan Wilde continued, each new challenge a testament to his unwavering dedication to truth and justice. The curious case of the mysterious disappearing train became a legend in Ravensbrook, a story of bravery and ingenuity that would be told for generations to come. Do not believe everything, but thoughtfully examine the evidence.